in association with lawexams.com, they cordially present before you an internship program for LLB students with a duration of 1 month. And we're all here for the official inauguration of this truly respectable initiative as far as I consider as a student. LGRF has always been a strong source of support and encouragement to law students, including myself. With deepest honor, I now invite Advocate Neelima Vinaya, General Convener, Internship Program, and also Joint Secretary LGRF Random Chapter, to welcome us all to today's function. I welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you, Uttara. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I extend a warm welcome to one and all to the inauguration ceremony of the first internship program for law students conducted by Law and Justice Research Foundation in association with lawexams.co.in from January 4, 2021 to February 4, 2021. The internship program is designed to provide interactions with legal experts of different domains of legal practice, which would give a better perspective on legal research and practice for the interns. Let me move on to my duty. First of all, I would like to welcome Dr. Saroja A.S., former principal of Government Law Colleges at Thiruvananthapuram, Ernakulam, and Thrissur. She is the most respected advisor of Law and Justice Research Foundation. I find an immense pleasure in welcoming Saroja Madam to this occasion. Welcome, Madam. I consider it a great honor to welcome Professor Dr. K.C. Sunny, Vice Chancellor, National University of Advanced Legal Studies, Kochi. He is a well known and respectable person in the legal fraternity with more than 30 years of academic experience. He had delivered lectures in 16 foreign universities and had interactive sessions in 6 foreign universities, which includes Harvard Law School, United States. He also served as the program chair of the International Conference on Law and Public Policy held at Singapore for 7 years. Sir, we are thankful to you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to inaugurate the ceremony. It's a great opportunity for the interns to have you here, sir. They will be able to seek guidance and imbibe knowledge from your professional experience. Hearty welcome to you, sir. Next, I would like to welcome.
Excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am,
Yes,
sorry to interrupt, ma'am. Could you please speak a little more louder? It's not properly audible. It's not clear to everyone. Sorry to
okay,
interrupt.
that's okay. Okay. Next, I would like to welcome our mentor and guide, Mr. Safi Mohan, Assistant Professor, Government Law College, Thiruvananthapuram, to the program. It is his vision which is materialized now. Welcome, sir. With extreme happiness, I would like to welcome all the members of our LGRF family from state chapter and district chapters to the ceremony. I wholeheartedly welcome Advocate Tejas Purushottaman, President, LGRF State Chapter, Advocate Ajay R. Kamath, Secretary, LGRF State Chapter, Advocate Bisru Daras, Vice President, LGRF State Chapter, Advocate Gino M. Kurian, President, Law Exams, Advocate Sandeep Chandrasekhar, Joint Secretary, LGRF State Chapter, and Ms. Rose Mariam Siri, Secretary, LGRF Trivandrum Chapter, to the program. Finally, my dear students, I'm pleased to extend a cordial welcome to you all. It's a great pleasure to have you all in the program. Wishing you an interesting session. Thank you all for your participation. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your heartwarming welcome. Before we commence with the inauguration, I consider it as my great honor to invite Dr. Saroja A.S., former principal of various law colleges, including the Trivandrum, Ernakulam, and Thrissur Law College, who is also the advisor of our LGRF, to deliver the presidential address. With deepest respect, I welcome you, ma'am. Saroja, ma'am, are you audible? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. A warm good evening to all of you. And thank you, Uttara. I'm extremely privileged actually. I'm invited to give the presidential address today for the internship program of the students. And respected members of the LJRF and most revered Sunny sir, Safi Mohan, and students, my dear students, and all the other participants of this particular function. Actually, when Safi called and phoned me and told me that such a program is being organized, I was extremely happy because already the students are doing internship and other things during their course, that is starting from the first semester. But how far that is being done effectively, so that once they pass out of the law school, whether they are equipped enough to take up the skills of lawyering. So we are all skeptical as to the way in which the internship program as part of the curriculum or the course is being conducted. So I think looking at that angle, it is highly necessary and inevitable that some initiative is taken by persons who are dedicated to see that these internship are done with what you call systematic guidance, and how that internship can benefit them once they graduate out of the law school. So, and we all know that it's highly pathetic to see that after the 5-year course and the 3-year LLB graduation course, many of the students opting for lawyering or law as a profession or to practice in the courts is very much the students are not equipped, and as such their spirits are dampened to sit in the court or practice under a senior lawyer. So it is high time that some initiative is being taken by the group like LJRF to instill that urge to practice as a lawyer. And we all know that earlier, being a lawyer was considered very much privileged, and highly intelligent lawyers. They used wit and humor and also their experience while arguing a case. See, these tactics or knack which the senior lawyers use while arguing a case, see, that should be imbibed by the younger generation, such that they are also capable of putting their knowledge while practicing. So LJRF, I'm an insider, but in spite of that, I feel that all the members of the LJRF, and especially a chapter has been opened in Ernakulam, and which was first inaugurated to function from Trivandrum. So it is, the branch has been opened in Ernakulam also. So we can see the kind of progress the Law and Justice Research Foundation is doing. It is actually putting its wings or its tentacles far and wide, such that it benefits the student community. So I think this initiative also, while the LJRF definitely will benefit the students, and I think that the effort that is taken by the LJRF to instill this kind of skill in the students, even while they are students, is very much appreciated. And I think all the law college teachers as well as students of all the law school will welcome this initiative with open hands. And I wholeheartedly felicitate and give my best wishes for this function and this initiative by the LJRF. Once again, I thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your kind words. Officially moving on to our inaugural function, I'm indeed privileged to welcome Professor Dr. K.C. Sunny, Vice Chancellor, National University of Advanced Legal Studies, to inaugurate and grace this occasion with his words. I welcome you, sir.
Respected Chairperson, Dr. Saroja A.S., former principal, government law colleges in Kerala, dear Safi, Chief Architect of this program, convener of this program, Nilima V. Nair, other office bearers of Law and Justice Research Foundation, and dear students. At the outset, I must congratulate Law and Justice Research Foundation for organizing this internship program to the law students of various law colleges in Kerala. Now, legal profession has become a prestigious profession. So, I would like to congratulate all students who have joined for legal studies. When we are discussing the scope of legal studies, we must we have to take into account of two major factors which are very relevant in this modern society. The first point is that this is the age of professionalization. Years back, eminent sociologist Wilkinson stated that in this modern age, all occupations are in a relentless march to achieve the status of a profession. Now we can see that even the construction workers are wearing jacket. This is the part of the development happening in the society, that is professionalization. Now there are so many professions, but legal profession has its own peculiarities. Firstly, it is one of the oldest professions in the world. Second thing is more important, I think. The role of the legal profession in the administration of the country is very, very relevant. As all of us are well aware, there are three major organs of the government, namely executive, legislature, and judiciary. Out of these three organs of government, namely executive, legislature, and judiciary, the entire judiciary is manned by law graduates. All judicial officers are trained lawyers who had undergone studies in law in a law college. That is very important. So, out of the 3 organs of government, one organ is completely managed by law graduates. Coming to the other organs of the government, in legislature, considerable percentage of the members of the parliament and legislative assemblies are from legal profession. In the freedom struggle itself, the role played by the lawyers is very, very substantial. That is why in the Constituent Assembly, considerable percentage of members were from legal profession. So in the second organ of the government, namely legislature, the members of the legal profession plays a dominant role. Coming to the third organ of government, that is administration or executive, there also the role of the legal professionals is very substantial. No other profession, whether it may be medical profession, professional chartered accountant, profession of medical practitioners, they cannot claim this credit. So, the role of the legal professionals, the governance of the country is very, very substantial. Now, you have opted for this profession. You have to undergo formal training or formal studies in a law college for a period of 3 years or 5 years. After completing your studies, you will get a degree certificate from the university. And you can enroll as an advocate. When we are joining or when we are searching for career in law after completing graduation from a law college, you have to take a decision regarding the area of practice. Here, I am using the term practice of law in a broad sense. We can broadly classify legal practitioners into 4 or 5 major groups. Most important group of legal practitioners are litigation lawyers. The lawyers who are engaged by a client for the purpose of effectively presenting their claims before the court of law. So litigation lawyers, that is the most important branch of legal profession. You can start practice as a litigation lawyer in the Supreme Court, High Court or lower courts. That is one option. Second option is to join in the corporate world. In this age of globalization, importance of corporate world is increasing in every day. Joining in corporate world as a legal manager or a law officer, that is a lucrative career. So, that is your second option, to start job as a corporate lawyer. Third one, judiciary. As I mentioned earlier, judiciary is the biggest care in India in terms of its status and prestige. What is the nature of the respect enjoyed by the lowest officer of the judiciary, namely the magistrate and municipal. Then, the second level, there are district judges and session judges. The third level, there are high court judges. The fourth level, there are Supreme Court judges. In addition to that, there are various tribunals. There are very important commissions like National Human Rights Commission, etc., etc. So, there is ample scope in judiciary also. Then, you can become an academic lawyer. You can become a professor in a law college. You can become the principal. You can become the vice chancellor. You can go abroad as a legal expert or as a as a professor of law. So there are career prospects as an academic lawyer. Then in military, there is one service, that is Judge and Advocate General Service. You can join there. That is also a very prestigious position to become the Judge and Advocate General. Nearly, and the status is equivalent to the status of a Judge of the High Court or Advocate General of a state. So the point is that after completing your course, there are so many opportunities. It is not an exaggeration if I say that no other profession has this type of diversity in terms of prestigious employment. This aspect should be in your mind. Now I think most of the participants of this program are students who have joined in law colleges as freshers. As freshers, you should have some idea regarding the strategies to be adopted for effectively completing your legal education. My first advice is that your priority may not be to score maximum marks in the examination. Examinations are very important in our formal system of education, but certain things are more important. In this regard, we have to take into account of the basic objectives of education. Education, especially in the formal education at any level, maybe LKG, maybe primary, maybe secondary, maybe graduate, maybe postgraduate, maybe doctoral. Intends to serve three basic purposes. The first purpose is acquiring of knowledge. Second purpose is development of skills. Third one is inculcation of values. So, acquiring of knowledge, development of skills, inculcation of values. These are the three basic objectives of any education. Coming to legal education, you have to acquire basic knowledge about the nature of the legal system, basic concepts of law, fundamental principles of jurisprudence, different branches of law. That is very, very essential. In addition to that, you have to develop the skills. Third one, you have to assimilate the values. Unfortunately, in our formal system of education, importance is given only to the first aspect of education, that is acquiring of knowledge. The opportunities provided for development of skills are very, very limited in the present system of education. But there are certain avenues like moot court clubs, client counseling competitions, trial competitions, debates, elocution competitions, etc., for the purpose of development of skills. My first advice to the students is that you have to utilize these type of facilities, that is moot court activities, client counseling competitions, activities of debating forum, quiz forum, etc., to the maximum extent. Because in this modern age, skill development is very, very important. In US, this year we have changed the entire system of pedagogy, and we have introduced the skill-based learning. Coming to skills, there are soft skills, hard skills, professional skills, life skills, etc. Being the aspirants of legal profession, you have to utilize all available opportunities for the development of fundamental lawyering skills. And coming to the effective completion of your legal education in such a manner as to get a very good placement after completion of your legal studies, you have to take into account of certain factors which are identified as certain quotients. The first quotient is IQ, intelligence quotient. That is very important, but unfortunately, nobody can enhance his IQ. IQ may remain constant, but you can use your IQ for positive purposes and negative purposes. That is first aspect. Second thing, it is up to every individual to decide whether his IQ may be fully utilized or not. Suppose a person is interested in sleeping for 14 hours per day. He may not be able to utilize his IQ to the full extent. So, during your legal studies, you should try to use your IQ to the positive things. Secondly, you should try to use your IQ to the maximum extent. In addition to IQ, there is EQ, that is emotional quotient. Keeping mental balance, that is very, very important for becoming a successful lawyer. There may be argument from one side. There may be questions from the presiding officer. There may be irritating type of witnesses. So you have to develop the capacity to be calm and quiet, or to maintain a moderate temperament. So, your emotional quotient is very, very important, not only for becoming a very successful legal practitioner, but for becoming a very good social being. That aspect may also be in your mind. Third thing is social quotient. The basic purpose of law is to regulate human conduct. So, law is for the purpose of maintenance of a social order. So the social aspect of law is very, very important. Law is operating in a society. There is a saying that society is the superstructure, polity is the substructure, and law is the infrastructure. So social functions of law is very, very important. So the social aspect of law is very, very important. In order to understand the social aspect of law in its entirety, you should try to become a very good social animal. There comes the significance of social quotient. Another quotient is curiosity quotient. For effective study of any legal principle, any provision of law, any recent judicial decision, or any social development, curiosity is very, very essential. Actually, it is the duty of the teacher to generate curiosity among the students. There are so many good teachers in law colleges, like Dr. Saroja, Dr. Safi, who are very particular in taking into account of the curiosity quotient of the students. But suppose one teacher is not at all interested in developing curiosity among the students, you should try yourself to generate curiosity. So this curiosity quotient is very, very important in legal education. There is another quotient, I think that is very important in this pandemic period. That is adversary quotient. The essence of adversary quotient is that in all activities there may be some adversary situations. The modern management experts says that for the purpose of implementation of a thing, only 20% of the time is required for the purpose of actual implementation. 80% of the time may be used for the purpose of removal of obstacles. For any activities, there may be obstacles. Now, there are so many obstacles to your studies emerged as a result of this pandemic COVID-19. That is a part and parcel of our life. Even if there is no pandemic, there may be so many obstacles created as a result of operation of the natural forces and human intervention. So we have to develop the capacity to convert obstacles as opportunities. That is the essence of the concept of adversary quotient. What is the capacity of a person to convert obstacles as opportunities? Now, there are no regular classes. Today, law colleges are open, but there are some restrictions as far as the activities in campus are concerned. But you can spend more time for the purpose of reading, more time for the purpose of skill development through some exercises that may be practiced by viewing videos or through certain facilities provided by this ICT learning. So there are so many avenues for converting obstacles as opportunities. So during this legal studies or studies in this law college, you have to try to develop the capacity to convert obstacles as opportunities. There is one more quotient, that is passion quotient. while taking a decision, after completing your LLB course, whether you should prefer to join as a litigation lawyer or corporate lawyer or an academic lawyer or a judicial officer, your passion is very, very important. If you are interested in becoming a judicial officer, you must be aware of the fact that there are so many restrictions for social life as far as the position of a judicial officer is concerned. If you are interested in becoming a teacher, you should have the capacity to handle the issues of students or manage the students. That is very, very important. So your passion is very, very important. So while taking a decision whether I should become an academic lawyer, corporate lawyer, or judicial officer, or litigation lawyer, you should have a clear idea about your passion. That is one aspect. There is one more aspect. That is your evaluation about your capacities and opportunities. There is a concept of SWOT analysis. That is analysis of strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats. Today itself, you should try to identify your strengths and you may develop the capacity to use your strengths to the maximum extent. You should identify your weaknesses. Then you should find out the strategies to be adopted to overcome the weaknesses. That is very, very important. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities. You should have a clear idea about the opportunities available. That may vary from time to time. After 5 years or 3 years from today, that is at the time of your time of completion of your courses, there may be more opportunities in one area. So you should have a clear understanding about the opportunities available. Then what are the threats for achieving your target? That is very, very important. So you should try to have an evaluation about your strengths, weaknesses, threats, opportunities, and threats. Anyway, I would like to congratulate you again for joining this law college for the purpose of proceeding with legal studies. I wish all of you a bright future. I once again congratulate the organizers for organizing this program. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving us a wonderful start and gracing us within this occasion. Up next, we have a presentation on LJRF and its functions. To present it, I first welcome Advocate Ajay R. Kamath, Secretary LJRF. I welcome you, sir.
Thank you, Uttara. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The presentation is visible, right?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay. Very welcome to all dignitaries, all members, and the students who have joined here. Now, I wish to give all of you a brief about the Law and Justice Research Foundation. The Law and Justice Research Foundation was started in 2018, and it's almost going to reach the third year. And the society and the LJRF is registered under the Travancore Cochin Literary, Scientific and Charitable Society Registration Act. And in the year 2020, I'm proud to announce that we have got the recognition from the Niti Aayog through NGO Darpan portal. Our website address is www.ljrf.in. The main objective or the aims of the Law and Justice Research Foundation is to promotion of basic legal literacy, to spread legal awareness, and to enlighten the objectives of law among the general public by conducting study classes, legal workshops, and legal awareness campaigns. And our next objective is to establish and administer institutions, including libraries, to promote legal education, including continuing legal education, and to spread patriotism and secularism among the general public, especially the youth. And the next objective is to conduct social audit regarding the impact of laws on society, including the implementation of legal awareness and legal aid programs conducted for the welfare of the citizens of India by government and non-governmental organization. Now, this is the difference between the Law and Justice Research Foundation and other NGOs. We might know about that there are NGOs or there are institutions, especially for academicians, especially for judicial officers, especially for lawyers, law students, and other law and enforcement officers and other sections of the society. But in the case of LJRF, LJRF includes the academicians, the judicial officers, lawyers, law students, and other sections of society like the police, law and enforcement wing of social justice department, and other departments and common citizens. While talking about LJRF, we have 14 district chapters, and in the time of pandemic, we have conducted more than 27 webinars, and thereby we have issued around 1,800 plus certificates, and thereby the LJRF was moving forward to the goal of legal literacy and legal reforms. Talking about the programs of Law and Justice Research Foundation, the constitutional legal literacy is one among the greatest important factor which the NGO has given till now. So as a result, the LJRF, through its flagship program, has its Constitutional Legal Literacy Center in Cherayankid constituency under the leadership of the Honorable Deputy Speaker, Kerala Legislative Assembly. Under this center, we conduct so much of activities, including legal aid, legal help, and constitutional legal literacy among the citizens. As an institution, we LJRF believe that in order to create a change or in order to reform the legal sector, the first place or the first thing we should start is from the teachers, who ultimately teaches the law graduates. For that, we have implemented a program called Teachers Development Program. It's called TDP in short. The main objective of the TDP is for giving training to the teachers so that they can equip with latest techniques, methods, and approach of teaching so that it can be useful for future students. Currently, LJRF is training around 40 students, and the exam of the first batch is scheduled on 20th January. The next program is called Legal Education Reforms Committee. This is a first among of its kind in the state, that this program is created, or the objective of the program is for monitoring and rating of legal education institutions in the country, so that it can be helpful for the students as well as the legal education institutions. As a part of students can know that the rating of the college or rating of the institution, so that they can choose the institution much wisely than the present situation. And for as a part of legal institution is concerned, the institution institution can also conduct a self introspection, but after going through this rating, that how they are performing. Then the prestigious our flagship program, the 30-day internship program. We have received around 200 applications for this prestigious 30-day internship program, conducted with association with lawexams.co.in and LJRF Academy and the Cherengir Constitutional Literacy Center. The main aim of this program is to provide quality internship program to the students, and to know the students the actual meaning of internship and how the internship must be done. As I already stated, we have got around 200 applications for this program, and through the online test, 40 students were selected for this program. Next program is the Criminal Justice Reforms Committee. The main aim of this committee is for reforming the criminal law and correctional institutions. LJRF is also taking initiative to amend the rules of the Probation of Offenders Act, which is an older act, and in support with the Social Justice Department, Government of Kerala, for the effective implementation of the program. For mentioning of other programs, my brother and the Vice President of LJRF, Visruth, will present in front of you. Then another information is that each of you can go for the membership with LJRF. For that, you can just visit our website, www.ljrf.in. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Next, we have Advocate Visruth, Vice President LJRF, to have his presentation. I welcome you, sir.
Thank you, Uttara. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Ajay, for the first half of the presentation. Okay. Hello. I'm sorry to interrupt. I have some network issues here. Am I audible now, Uttara?
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Yes. All right. Thank you, Ajay, for the first part of the presentation. And regarding the activities of Law and Justice Research Foundation, the rest of the things that I got to mention now is Law and Justice Research Foundation has got its association with various organizations across the state of Kerala, as well as outside the state of Kerala in throughout India. So as part of the same, we have an association with the Cochin Institute of International Arbitration. Along with the same organization, we are conducting two particular programs. The first one is on an international arbitration course, in which we are conducting lectures on every Saturday's evening, inviting the most renowned guests from the area of arbitration and mediation conciliation law from the various states in India. And the second program is a very prestigious and I should say a flagship program of Law and Justice Research Foundation, which happens to be the complete lawyering program, which is done in association with the Cochin International Institute of Arbitration. The said program is aimed at equipping the junior lawyers to become an independent lawyer within a period of 3 to 4 years. And again, other than this particular organization, the Law and Justice Research Foundation works in association with the Mandapa Science Foundation and the various district legal services authority in the various districts in Kerala. And we have an active association with the Social Justice Department and the Probation Office of the Social Justice Department in Kerala. Along with the same, we have actively involved in conducting programs of the said department along the fortnight celebrations on the probation day, and also a lot many webinars on the same. So apart from all these, Law and Justice Research Foundation works in association with lawexams.co.in, a particular website which provides coaching for the JRF net exams, the UGC net exam basically, and also for various other judicial services exam and the APP and the law officers exam for RBI and SEBI, etc. And along with the lawexams.co.in, LJRF makes a particular prestigious project named RDP, Research Development Project, in which we have already, after scrutiny, we have already selected around 10 editors and supervisors who are working on the various aspects of law, especially keeping in mind the syllabus of the different law exams that are held on a yearly basis. And in addition to all these, LJRF also has a blog of its own by the name ljrfvoice.com. It's working in association with our own website, and we intend to publish the articles from the best of the academic crowd, and also from the members who will be doing internships under us, and also the students from both graduation and post-graduation background in law who are associated with us in various programs. And in association with the same, we have a LJRF Academy, which happens to be a course portal in which we provide free of cost courses to the public and the law students at large. Nervari project, which is done along with the association of the probation department and the probation office of the social justice department, is an example to this. And I should also mention that this particular, the last year on December 10th, on the World Human Rights Day, the Law and Justice Research Foundation has started yet another endeavor of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Memorial Lecture Series. The series is supposed to be taken care of in 5 particular days throughout the year, in which the legal luminaries are being remembered upon, or in some other sort. For example, the first project was conducted, the series of lectures started on December 10th. It was the International Human Rights Day. The second lecture is being organized on Jan 26th, which happens to be the Republic Day. And after that, we have the projects coming up on April 14th, and which happens to be the Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Jayanti. Then on August 15th, the Independence Day. And the final lecture of the series will be done on November 26th, the National Law Day. And I should also mention to you in this particular occasion, the association, the Law and Justice Research Foundation, has with various legal luminaries, including Professor Dr. G. Mohan Gopal, the former Director, National Judicial Academy, and the former Vice Chancellor of National Law School, India University, Bangalore. And LJRF also has 4 channels of its own. We have a YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and a LinkedIn channel. So that will be all about us for the time being. And I thank you all for the patient listening that you have given us. And all the best to the internees who will be interning with us in this project. Thank you. Over to you, Uttara.
Thank you so much, sir. Nothing is complete without gratitude. Now I invite Ms. Rosemary M. Sibi, Secretary, LJRF Trivandrum Chapter, and also Assistant Professor in CSI Institute of Legal Studies, Trivandrum, to deliver the vote of thanks. I welcome you.
Thank you, Uttara. Thank you so much. So the beginning is the most important part of the work. Today, we marked a beginning. Yes, we witnessed the inauguration of welcoming 40 future budding lawyers as interns to the LGRF family. Without wasting much time, I would like to thank all those who made this function really auspicious. First of all, I would like to thank Dr. Saroja A.S., a former principal of various government law colleges who presided this function. Actually, ma'am is a great member, a great mentor to the LGRF family. She always spares time for us and she always motivates us and she constantly guides us with her enlightened vision. Thank you, ma'am. I express my sincere gratitude to you on behalf of LGRF family and all others those who are present over here. Then I would like to thank Dr. K.C. Sunny, the respected Vice Chancellor of National University of Advanced Legal Studies. By making inaugural speech, he showed us various opportunities of legal field. I hope all the students, those who listen to him, might be feeling more optimistic about their future. I'm sure that his advices will definitely help in your future ways. I express heartfelt thankfulness to Sunny sir on behalf of LGRF family, students and all others. Thank you, sir. Then I would like to thank Internship Coordinator Advocate Neelima B. Nair, Joint Secretary of LGRF Trivandrum Chapter, then Advocate Ajay R. Kamath, Secretary LGRF, then Advocate R.S. Vishnu, the Vice President LGRF, for being the strong pillars of this successful function. Then I would like to thank all dear internees and I wish all of you that let this be a milestone in your career and in your life. And don't forget to make use of this opportunity. This will be really helpful for your future. Thank you, dear students. Then finally, I would like to thank all the organizers of this function and this internship program and all the coordinators, joint coordinators, including our dearest comparer Uttara and all other members, especially the members of technical committee and all other participants. Thank you once again. Thank you all for making this function really great. Thank you once again. Good night and Jai Hind. Over to Uttara.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I now declare our today's program officially over. Thanking each and every participant here with us today. Wishing everyone a very happy year. Thank you. Jai Hind.